I originally set up Tim Little in the mid-90s. I was in the advertising business originally, but I was always a passionate shoe buyer, and in particular I loved English shoes. I set up my own shop originally in the King's Road, and I started selling my collection to department stores and independents around the world. Places like Harrods and Selfridges and Barney's in New York, for example. In 2005, I was contacted by the owner of Grenson, which was an old shoe factory in Northampton that had really fallen on hard times. So the owner asked me to get involved to try and help turn it around and bring it up to date. And I carried on doing that for 3 or 4 years before eventually agreeing to take over the business from him. The heritage is very much about formal shoes, always very luxury shoes, very well made. I think younger guys today are looking for products with a real story and a real heritage. I think they're looking for things that are well made, made by craftsmen. The shoe is incredibly important in a man's wardrobe. There's an old saying, always spend good money on your shoes and your bed, because if you're not in one, you're in the other. There's a renaissance in younger men wearing the brogue these days. You look at the brogue and you know that that's a shoe that stood the test of time. You can tell it's handmade, you can tell it's English. Well, Made for Gentlemen for me is about the bringing together of products that men buy these days that have heritage and have a real story, from companies who are specialists in what they do and are experienced, and the craftsmanship that goes into those products to make them special. The idea behind the design of the tin was to use a classic icon of what we do, which is the brogue, and we've deconstructed it and taken the pieces. Inside obviously is the bottle full of whiskey which has been crafted over hundreds of years, and on the outside is a little bit of what we do and some of the patterns from the brogue shoe that we make, and it just brings the two together very, very nicely, I think.